So Prismatic Evolutions seems that it will be getting worse before it gets better, though what will happen if stock never catches up to demand? So as more information forms about this set, it seems that it has some issues that were not anticipated. I mean, if we look at a quick timeline of events, Prismatic Evolutions has had an uphill battle with collectors and fans, right? It started out when it sold out within 10 hours of releasing on the Pokemon Center's website, which made headlines around the TCG community. So then people began pre-ordering the regular ETBs in bulk, which all got sold out, and then people couldn't even pre-order the set. And then a lot of people just got messaged from retailers saying that if they pre-ordered after a specific date, then they will be pushed to the next May restock. And then Pokemon saw the issue, and in a very rare event, they publicly said that they understand fans are disappointed, and they reassured everyone that more Prismatic Evolution stock will be coming. And it's fair to say that this has been a wild time to be involved in the hobby. I mean, I mentioned in a previous video that Pokemon rarely acknowledges these kinds of things, right? So this is most certainly a very rare moment, but I suppose it's one that's needed. Now, also, just a little bit of a quick one. If you are new to the channel, I just want to say hi, my name's Phil. I'm a marketing professional who uses my knowledge in marketing and apply it to the world of collectibles. Feel free to subscribe to the channel to stay in the loop for Pokemon related content. Now, Prismatic Evolutions, one of the aspects that's kind of getting a lot of people talking at the moment, which obviously it's, you know, the crazy amount of hype that's been involved and people can't get stock. People are fighting in stores, which is just ridiculous, man. Like, one of the things that I can't believe that people do is that there's this kind of aspect that you just like, where do people feel that that's okay? I don't know. Like, don't people get embarrassed? Like, if I was in a store and everyone just started bolting up to the counter to like fight over product, I mean, to me, it's mind-boggling. It's so wild. Okay, one of the big topics right now is the pull rates, right? Because the pull rates of Prismatic Evolutions in some ways have been quite fair, but in some ways there's also some issues with them, which I'm about to take you through right now. Here we go, right? So I'm on here and I can see the Prismatic Evolutions pull rate. So starting off with the hyper rare, right? So you can see any hyper rare is 1 in 180, and a specific hyper rare is 1 in 900 packs. Definitely super hard to pull. Now, when we're dealing with stock issues and pull rates like this, what's really important if you're buying within the current climate is to track what you're spending as the market moves so quickly. And a great way to do that is with the Shiny app, which is the paid sponsor of today's video. So the Shiny app is literally a collection hub. It allows you to input your collections into the app and it pulls in pricing data for you to have a complete overview of your collectible portfolio. But one of the best aspects of Shiny is that you have the ability to change it to your country's currency. This makes it super easy to see the market along with how prices travel over time that's relative to you. Obviously, a lot of us can track our spending on Pokemon cards with spreadsheets, and by using Shiny, it takes away a lot of the manual aspects of tracking. You know, if you are collecting Pokemon cards, it's actually really important to have your finger on the pulse when it comes to the market because prices can change much quicker than expected. So definitely feel free to check out the app, and you can actually find all the details of the Shiny app within the description of this video. We go into the special illustration rares. This is where it gets interesting. So I want you to see right there, any special illustration rare is 1 in 45 packs, which is actually really generous, right? That's actually not a difficult pull rate to get a special illustration rare. But here's the kicker. The set has 32 special illustration rares. So you can see a specific special illustration rare is 1 in 1,440 packs. This is kind of the issue of the pull rates, right? Because yes, it's easier to get a special illustration rare, but to get the Umbreon, to get the Sylveon, to get the Espeon is 1 in 1,440. So you're kind of in a pretty difficult position here, right? Because that is going to make the prices of these specific special illustration rares get very costly, as we can already see playing out right now. Now, another one is the Masterball foil. So any Masterball is 1 in 20 packs, and a specific Masterball is 1 in 1,362. So the Masterball reverse holos are also quite hard to get. The specific ones like your Umbreon are obviously going to be very hard to get as well. The interesting things when we go into comparisons for pull rates, right? So we can see for Twilight Masquerade, to get any special illustration rare was 1 in 86. With Stellar Crown, it was 1 in 90, and with Surging Sparks, it was 1 in 87. So Prismatic Evolutions is actually double as generous as these. Though again, like I was saying, it does have that specific special illustration rare, which is seeming to be the bigger problem, right? Now, like, pull rates can always be tough, right? I know with Temporal Forces, a specific illustration rare is like 1 in 800 and something packs, right? And funnily, when I actually hosted my last Discord exclusive Temporal Forces giveaway, one of the winners was actually lucky enough to pull the Iron Crown SIR.
Swaps over, it kind of gets a little bit like base sets, and the first sets are a bit boring. Heat more. Oh no! Why? No! There it is! There it is! Non-cakes!
Now, if you love staying up to Pokemon related content and you want to be part of the future Discord exclusive giveaway events, feel free to join my Discord server. You can also ask questions to collectors and showcase your best pack pulls. The server invite is in the description of this video. So this is where it actually gets quite similar to Evolving Skies. So if you're new to the hobby and you don't know what Evolving Skies is, Evolving Skies came out in 2021. It was an Evolution / Rayquaza themed set. Very popular, crazy expensive for a booster box at the moment, though it also did have the Moonbryon Chase card, which is kind of like one of the most iconic modern Pokemon cards to date, been going crazy in price recently. But a Moonbryon is around the top of my head, 1 in 1,600 to 1 in 1,700 packs to pull. So that is the Moonbryon's rarity. Now, it seems that this new Umbreon Chase card is pretty much matching that, very similar in pull rates. Though, here's also another issue. Prismatic Evolutions is so hard to find on release, and because it's a specialty set, like Evolving Skies, you could get a booster box. With Prismatic Evolutions, you have to kind of go through and trawl through ETBs, so it's probably much harder to pull the Umbreon SIR than it was the Moonbryon for that reason, right? And this is probably going to put a lot of upwards pressure on the pricing because it is harder to acquire because it is from a specialty set. That May restock that I was talking about, because a lot of people got pushed to the May restock, that's kind of already been fulfilled by people who missed out from the January kind of regular stock, right? So that new restock that's coming out, that's backlogged with people who missed out and they just got put first in line. So it does leave a lot of questions. Who is actually going to get Prismatic Evolutions product, because so many people have just been pushed further and further in line. Now, when we're speaking about this, right, Pokemon did make that statement. Now, if you do know, Pokemon rarely do that. I spoke about that before. Like, we even had that issue with Degzet. I don't know if you played the Sword and Shield games. This was in 2018 when Pokemon kind of decided that they were going to cut the Pokedex in half. Literally, it was crazy, man. Like, that was such a wild time to be playing the Pokemon games because they cut the Pokedex in half and everyone was like, wait, Pokemon is got to catch them all. That's Pokemon's kind of whole image, right? We got to catch them all. That caused so much controversy, so many issues. And I think Prismatic Evolutions is kind of like also causing this kind of same amount of problems, but in a TCG aspect. And Pokemon did kind of reassure everyone, right? Though I do think, other sets have had really hard special illustration rare pull rates. Like, Twilight Masquerade, Stellar Crown, Temporal Forces. These have had all very difficult pull rates. And I did kind of call this before, and I said Prismatic Evolutions is on track to be even more expensive than Evolving Skies. Now, when I kind of made that statement, I kind of got a lot of people saying, whoa, that's kind of a crazy thing to say, Phil. The reason why I anticipated that is because with Evolving Skies, you could always get the product on release. Same with Pokemon 151. It took a little bit of time for the demand to build, right? But because Evolving Skies became this crazy phenomenon, everyone loved it. Everyone couldn't stop talking about it. People were just waiting on reprints. It was so heavily desired. That kind of knowledge just got all transferred to Prismatic Evolution. So everyone involved in the hobby already put the previous experience they had of Evolving Skies and they placed it on Prismatic Evolutions. So this caused Prismatic Evolutions to be already on the same level as Evolving Skies in terms of hype. The issue is as well, because we had so many new things happening, Pokemon TCG Pocket, so many new fans entering, all this at once. Prismatic Evolutions, you can't even get at retail price and it's so backlogged. So, it does beg the question, how is it going to get better quickly because Pokemon really need to print this like so heavily. And I mean like Crown Zenith style, but I even think they need to go harder than that to meet this demand because this is wild. Not only that, you do have the scalpers that are buying the products in truckloads, right? And you know, the scalpers unfortunately are so heavily incentivized to do so because if you can get it at retail price, the secondary market is already selling for whatever it is, double or triple the price for an ETB. So you're getting so many people buying this in huge amounts. Problem is these people are now making money. So Pokemon really need to do something to stop that because until it's very hard because when money's involved, right? Guys, I'm just being real with you. When there's money involved, people will always buy it because they know that they'll make a profit. As soon as the profit leaves, they won't be doing it, right? Because all those people that loaded up on battle styles, well, you know what? It's been 4 years now and they still haven't made much of a profit. And that's what kind of needs to happen, okay? But, you know, we've got too much quality at the moment coming out for Pokemon not to kind of meet up printing demands. You've got Journey Together, which is already looking like the same story as Prismatic Evolutions. We've got Glory of Team Rocket, the new Team Rocket set, which is going to be so hyped. They really need to get things together before they release that set. And arguably, Pokemon obviously release sets so quickly now. Like there's such little time and gap between new sets. You know, maybe it's time that they think, hey, we're going to slow down releases, but we're gonna make sure that we get more product. You know, they kind of have to get strategic with that. When you delay things because you want quality or you want the best for your audience, that's a good thing. Like Metroid Prime 4, a lot of us have been waiting for Metroid Prime 4 for ages, but the developers have said it's not where we want it to be, so they've kept delaying the game. Because once the fans get the game, they'll be so satisfied, they'll be so happy, you know, whatever it is. 2017 Metroid Prime 4 got announced. Apparently it's coming this year, who knows? But at least we know as fans that the developers have our best interest at heart. Same thing kind of goes with this. If you're gonna release Glory of Team Rocket, but people cannot get set and it just goes to the secondary market and you're only benefiting scalpers, well then kind of think about delaying the releases, man. Think about just taking a little bit more of a pause between sets. But the main thing is right now, and I speak about it a lot, guys, if you are in this hobby right now, it's very important if you're consuming this kind of content because you're gonna watch it and people are gonna be like, buy. Dude, it's okay to miss out on a set. Do not fall into that trap. I think as a community, we all need to make it like a social thing where it's kind of gross to resell on the market straight away. Sure, if Prismatic Evolutions in 2028 is selling for, you know, $300 an ETB, great, good. It's because it was part of that time period. I love investing in collectibles because I love seeing something that maybe others during that time period cannot see the value in, right? And then as time goes on, perception changes. To me, it's really interesting. But right now, my kind of love for investing in collectibles isn't even that strong because it's like, well, Prismatic Evolutions right now, it's already so desired. No one has this thing like it's a special lucky charm or it's got some sort of unique aspect about it. It's just already going for these prices. So I really hope that more stock gets in the market so a lot of people can buy product and as time goes on, let it rise. So with everything that's happening, I think Prismatic Evolutions is making collectors feel like it's kind of a now or never situation, right? Though one key aspect when purchasing Pokemon cards is that you don't overspend. And I think a question that comes up is, how do I kind of collect Pokemon cards when they are so expensive? And I actually reveal the answers to that within this video here. Within this video, I'll look over the 5 tips to collect Pokemon cards while you're on a tight budget. If you love Pokemon cards, but also need to manage life expenses at the same time, click that video that's appearing on screen and we'll talk more about it there.